Well, Mayor, I'm not trying to be a little hip high on this, but a man bought the London Bridge and put it out in the middle of the desert in Phoenix.
He did. I've been across it.
Yes, sir. And the functionality of that bridge out there is the point that I'm making. We've got the state-of-the-art equipment out here, but it's in the middle of nowhere. And, you know, that's...
Well, it is, but that's one of the things, Eddie, that we are trying to do is make this area not nowhere, make it somewhere. Right. And, you know, it takes time. I mean, we're located in a rural area, no doubt. But we're located between Maxwell and Eglin and Fort Rooker and some bases over around Mississippi, Biloxi, and whatnot. So we're not in a bad area, but our area has been historically an agricultural area. And we're trying to change that because agriculture is walking away from us, just like the textiles walk away from us. So if we don't work toward other industries, we will be in trouble. We will have to move to Atlanta and Birmingham and other places to find jobs, and our children and grandchildren would have to do the same. And that was one of the main reasons I ran for mayor. I want to have a diverse occupations here for people to keep their kids can stay at home and work at home, you know, and make a decent living. But it takes time. You don't, you know, Rome wasn't created in a day, and this is not going to be created in a day. We made mistakes over there at the airport. There's no doubt about that. There's no covering that up. And I was on the board during that time, and I look back on it, and I wish I would have taken a more involved and forceful role in it, but that's my bad. I didn't do that. So I'll take my due where it's due, and of course it's not all my fault either. But now, instead of looking back and saying, well, this one did that, no, what we need to do is gather ourselves together and go forward and try to make this thing as good as we can. And I hope that happens, and I hope the people, the powers to be over there will do that. And I think we've got a good airport board, and I think we've got a couple of good folks running the airport now, in Misty and Jed. And I just hope that we need a little luck. You know, you can be as good as you can, but you need a little luck once in a while. And I fully believe that we will have somebody in those hangars. I hate to put a time limit on it, but I would hope within 6 months. And the city will do whatever we have to do to pay our part of the bond. It will hurt us. We'll have to cut back on some services, some contributions, but you know, it's kind of like we're out in the middle of the ocean and the motor quits on the boat. We all got to paddle to get back where we're going. So, and that's kind of, you know, there's only been one perfect person on this earth, and that was Jesus. We all make mistakes, and but to wallow in your mistakes and to dwell on them never accomplishes anything. You learn by them, of course, but you have to go forward and not make those mistakes again, and try to pull out of it.
Well, Mayor, I agree with you 100% on that, and I'm not trying to be opinionated on this interview, okay, but I'm a citizen as well, and then this is next to home because this is something that I drove hard on years ago, back when they first started out, because we started hollering wolf, 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 and we were told that we're just so negative about it. Now what I'm hearing, not just, and I'm not meaning to be coy with you, but I'm hearing from you, I'm hearing from the other elected officials in the community and outside the airport authority, that it's almost like sweeping under the rug. We need to learn from this. We need to keep it fresh in front of us, because I just told you before I came in and started videotaping this, EJM got $27 million from the United States government last year. Another $3 million from the state of Alabama. How much did we get out of that?
That's right.
Okay, and you mentioned Parahealing Global. There's things that went on with that were internal within it, that were driven, that we're bringing out on a daily basis on that as well. And it's not just CEOs, it's people that are involved in it on a local level that have created situations.
Right.
We have, what I'm seeing, a open sore that as soon as it gets a scab on it, it gets picked again, and people are sensitive to it. And you know, but it still needs to be known that there's a sore there. Don't pick the scab.
Well, I agree with you, Eddie. It does. We certainly don't need to sweep it under the rug. We don't need to forget it. We need to learn from our experiences and make sure this never happens again. And hopefully that'll happen. And if I have any influence or thing to do with it, it will. I just hope that for the whole community, the whole county's sake, that we will get lucky and have somebody in there in time to really prevent a hardship being put on the county and Andalusia and us and the rest of the county. So, but right now, all I can do is to the people that I know that are involved is just keep pushing and encouraging them, get out and find somebody. And, Tucson Roberts, that's his job. This needs to be priority for him. He needs to be out, and I'm sure he is out working, trying to get somebody in here. And he has a lot of contacts, but I know from talking to the other folks that are involved that the next prospect we have will not be treated the same as EDgar was. We will not make that mistake again.
Well, Mayor, I appreciate you taking the time, and we're not trying to be negative, we're just trying to be informative. And if you know the facts and you know the information when you make decisions, and that's how we do it with WKNI,
Right.
people need to be informed. A huge gap, not pointing any fingers, but I find it real curious, again, why I come up with the sweeping under the rug comment. EDgar officially left the building last month. Nothing has been said, nothing has been told to the media about it. Last month as well, Sitel laid off 158 people plus. If we hadn't run into somebody here in the city of Ob on one of our other ventures, and they were an employee of there that just got laid off that day, nobody would have known Sitel just laid off 158 people unless those people got out. We heard about it. We contacted Sitel. They released the press release because of our request.
Right.
And is there, I'll just be straight with you, okay? You're in the know. Is there a cover-up going on to keep the bad news away from us?
I don't think there's a cover-up. I don't really know why. I was not notified at Sitel. I heard it on the radio, I think, after the press release had done. I knew nothing about it. I heard that Mayor Johnson was making statements about it, and after the fact. So, I was not informed either. I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't think there's a cover-up. I think it may be due to folks just not following up and doing what they really need to do.
Well, do the people need to know what's going on?
The people need to know, sure. I mean, it's their money we're spending. It's not my money. It's not my $8 or $9 million that come through this office. It belongs to the city.
Would you recommend now, and like people say, hindsight's 20/20. I've heard that for the past 24 hours. Well, Eddie, what you found out, and what, all this stuff 5 years ago, that's hindsight's 20/20. If that hindsight was used 5 years ago, we wouldn't be in the predicament that we're in.
Well, that's true, and we need to pay attention to what's around us and what other people are saying and what's going on. And I think we may be guilty of not doing that, not paying close enough attention to what's around us, and maybe not doing enough investigation on some of the things that we've been involved in. I mean, thorough investigation makes a better ending. So I think we could be guilty of some of that.
Mayor, thank you very much for allowing us in your office. Thank you very much for taking the time out to share with us your feelings and your opinion on what's going on over there at the airport, as well as around the community. We thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, WKNI.